everything we do affects somebody. It's like there are people connected to us, whether we like it or not. So every choice that you make, it's going to affect somebody who is connected to you, because we all produce fruit. Whether or not the fruit is good or it's rotten, we all produce fruit. And the people around you are going to reap the fruit that you produce. So if I'm prideful, if I'm angry, if I'm selfish, it's going to affect somebody. Now, if I'm walking in truth and I'm speaking life into people, and I'm building people up and I'm edifying people, and I have this joy that bounces on to the next person. Walking in Christ is a selfless walk, because apart from Christ, everything we do is for self. So we're only thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about how our actions affect the next person. You get to that point where you understand that you're walking in Christ and that nothing is about you. You start to become more selfless, because now everything points to Christ. Now you know that your life is to glorify Him. Your actions are to glorify Him. And you start to understand that the fruit is really for the people around you. When a tree grows and it produces fruit, the fruit drops. It ripens, starts to drop. It's available for people to pick it. So everyone around that tree is able to pick the fruit from that tree. So you start to realize that everything that Christ is doing in you is for the next person. He's giving to me that I'm able to give to everybody else. So whatever you're doing and whatever you're not doing, it is affecting the next person. And just knowing that, it changes how you move. It changes how you make decisions, because now you see this choice that's laid out in front of you. And it's life and it's death. And now everything you do, you can make a choice. See, before, you didn't know. So every choice you made was for yourself. But then once you know truth, then every situation that comes your way, every decision that has to be made, you see it in front of you. You can make this choice, you can make that choice. And then you think, okay, well, if I do this, it's going to negatively affect the people around me. It may be okay for me. It's what I want to do. But it's going to affect somebody else. But if I choose life, not only is it better for me, but it's better for the people around me. It's like if I choose to get angry about something and cuss somebody out. It's like I'm given a choice. When I get angry, it's like, okay, do I want to do what I want to do? Do I want to say what I want to say? Do I want to be petty too? If I do that, I'm going to hurt this person's feelings. I'm going to break this person down. Not only is it affecting that person, but it's going to get me all worked up inside. I'm going to create chaos for myself, because walking in the flesh, it does something to your spirit. It does something to your soul. It does something to you. It's damaging, because if I get angry and I do and say what I want to say, it's affecting me negatively. Now I have stepped out of peace and I have stepped out of joy. I have stepped out of who God created me to be. And I have decided that I want to walk in my flesh and do what I want to do. So now I am affected negatively and this person is affected negatively. Now, if I choose to have a peaceful response to something that I want to snap at, not only am I doing something for this person, but I'm doing something for myself too. So, because I love the Father, I love this person, because I love myself, because I don't want to create chaos on the inside of me, because I don't want to lose clarity and lose focus and jack up my mental and my peace of mind, because I love the Father, I love my neighbor, because I love myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my neighbor like I love myself. So because you're loving on your neighbor, you're actually loving on yourself. So because you love, it's just a chain reaction. Because you love the Father, you love yourself. So you love your neighbor as you love yourself. I don't like to feel chaos. I don't like my mental to be disrupted. So I don't want that for the next person. So whether or not you are obedient to the calling on your life, whether or not you are obedient to God, affects the people around you. It's like when Jesus told Simon, row out further into the deep end and drop your nets. His response was, Master, we've worked hard all night and we have caught nothing. But because you say so, I will drop the net. Simon dropped the nets, and their catch was so huge that the nets were splitting. He signaled for his friends to come help him. They filled 2 boats so full that the boats were starting to sink. Simon saw this and fell at Jesus' knees. Now, Jesus was showing Simon how he was making him a fisher of men, a fisher of people, of souls. Throw out the gospel, reel people in. But you can also see how his obedience affected the people around him. It blessed the people around him. All night they were fishing and they caught nothing. Here comes Jesus and he's like, throw your net out. Cast your net out. He's like, man, we've been doing this. Ain't nothing in here. Like, there's nothing. But because you say so, I'll do it. Because I know who you are, trust you, I'll do it. God is a God of abundance and of overflow. He never just gives enough for you. He gives so much that it overflows so that everyone around you is blessed. I just think that that's something to think about and something to remember when we go about life and choices are laid out in front of us. It's not about you, but it's about Christ, and it's about the people that are around you. I mean, you think of Jesus when he fulfilled the will of the Father by going to the cross. God said, I'm giving you my people. Jesus knew that he had this responsibility, that he was given these people that God loves so much. And I think of it as not being any different with us. Like, you were sent into this world for a purpose, for God's purpose. And the people that are in your life, it's like they were given to you. And there's this responsibility to cherish their heart and to understand them, to see their pain and to see their needs. It's like you have this responsibility, and you know that these people that are around you, that they're affected by what you do, and they're affected by your actions and what you say. I think that when we remember that, it helps us to make better choices. Choices that are not only going to help others, but also please the Father. Something else I want to talk about real quick, just because I feel like I think somebody needs to hear it, especially just in the times that we're in right now. The story of Peter walking on the water was always so crazy to me. And I always think about that. Every single thing that happened, that Jesus did, that he said, like, it was for a reason. It was for us. It was for us. Every detail, everything. Because it all pointed to life, and it all pointed to what we're going to go through and what we go through. And he's just showing us how to handle things, you know? When Peter was like, Jesus, you know, if it's really you, call me to you. Tell me to come to you. Tell me to walk on this water to you. And so Jesus is like, come. It's so crazy because this is walking on water. It's just like the character of Jesus, all knowing. Nothing is impossible. He's like, come. And so Peter gets out the boat and he starts walking on the water towards Jesus. He's looking at Jesus and he's walking towards him. As soon as he took his eyes off of Jesus and started looking at the winds, started looking at the storm, at his surroundings, he was frightened. Like, he got scared. Fear took over. Because imagine walking on water. What seems impossible to you has just become possible. You don't understand it. And then you start looking around, and that's when doubt sinks in, because it's like, how are you it's like, what? Do you see where you are? Like, do you see where you are? Do you see what's going on around you? Fear kicked in, he started to sink. But Jesus immediately reached out for him and pulled him up. And Jesus is like, you man of weak faith, why would you doubt? Jesus is telling us and showing us so much in that situation. Why would you begin to doubt? You're looking at me. You know who I am. Trust me. Why would you look to the left and to the right? And why would you begin to doubt? He's literally showing us something amazing in that situation. We're living in a storm. This is a corrupt world that we live in, and there's a storm going on. There is so much chaos going on right now. Doubt says you have every reason to look at your surroundings. You have every reason to be afraid because of what you see. Jesus says, nah, look at me. There's no way you can walk through this life, this world, and have peace and rest without keeping your eyes on Christ. Because when you look around you, you have every reason to be fearful. It's faith. Like, it's really faith. You trust God. You trust his word. You trust who he is, and you trust in his love. So you keep your eyes on him, because you know when you're looking at him, everything is possible. Doubt says, look around. You take your eyes off Christ and you start to see what's going on around you. And fear kicks in, worry kicks in, doubt kicks in. I don't know what I'm going to do. You keep your eyes on Christ and you remember everything that he says. Oh, I don't have anything to worry about. Oh, fear doesn't belong to me. Oh, I'm a child of God. Oh, the fight is not mine. Oh, it's finished. Like, it's done. Like, I'm in this, but Jesus said it's done. Like, I've already won. So now it's like I'm stepping into this fight that I know I already have the victory of. Like, I know it's already been won for me. You fight differently when you know that you've won, because now the way you fight is through your faith. I trust God. I believe in him. So I walk confidently. I know the victory is mine.